Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I don't have a bingo. I've got a scoring tile in the K. So I could play Koa, leaving Dean. That's quite a nice rack leave. An alternative to that would be to try and get the K doubled, so a 5 or 6 letter play. But that would wreck the rack. I'm inclined to go with Koa or Ochre. Yeah, I think... Do I? I think I'll go with Koa. It provides no access to the double word squares. And I've got the N for Cohen. That looks promising. Very close to a bingo. I can't see a 7, but there could be one there. Tenanted through a T. Can't see anything through the K, or the O, or the A. But all of those floaters are likely to be obstructed. Wow, nice start for my opponent, 79 points. He does play a T, but it's not available for tenanted. So I have 10 dance through the C. Neatened is good. What would that need? An E. Okay, no E. The A is most promising because of the double-double. Can't see anything through that. So I'm going with 10 dance. Tendons. For 74. J and X, nice tiles. Not bingo-y, but hold out the potential for a good score. Although nothing great on this board at the moment. Except there is, because the E, right next door to this double word square for my X coming down. So I could play X. It would be nice to get rid of the F as well. So I could do that with Jeff A, putting the F next to the E. That's quite nice, and retaining the X for score for next go. Row H, quite hot for a play through the N. Can't see a way of using my J or X there. And I can't see a way of playing off the J and the X. I guess through a U I would have GX. Now, what about column 2 at the bottom? My F can go next to the E, so if I had a 5-letter F play, that would score probably upwards of 50 points. Can't see one. Now, my opponent has provided a hot spot for the X, but I can't get it to score twice. So, I'm going to play Jeff A here, and if I draw an I or a U, I've got a 50-point play available for next turn. I do draw an I, so I've got Chi and Chi, however you pronounce XI. And the rest of the rack quite bingo-y. It would be nice to play off an R with the X. Can't see a way of doing that, but in any event I've got the XI spot. Do I have something better? I'm just looking at column 2, a 5-letter play beginning with E. Can't see one using the X. I don't have an N for chin. I do have an S for cheese. Okay, I think I will go with XI for 50. Great, I don't draw another R. This looks pretty good. I think Droga's is good. Possibly. Fortunately, it doesn't play anywhere because I'm not sure of it. Droga's. I think I will try it if a spot becomes available. Can't see anything through the V. Viner takes an S after it and an L, but an S is what I've got. Can't see anything there. The R not available. Okay, so not too much on offer. Tendons takes an S. I can't use that to good effect. The S is better on my rack for next go. So what I'm looking to do is to play off the G and the R, probably the O as well. Now, a few new floaters. None of them looking great. But I do have a new spot to consider, which is column 1. But look at this, three consonants next to each other. That's going to need 3 vowels next to each other to score, so that's no good. What was I thinking of doing? Oh, I think I was just commentating that it would be nice to play off G, O and R. The rack lever red's quite nice. So I could play org in row 11. Gore in column 5. What else is available? Well, Gore here, I think, provides very little for my opponent. Scores 16 points, which isn't great. But I'm keeping a good rack leave. Not too many 7-letter lanes on this board, and most of them require an S, not in last place, so I could have an unplayable bingo, but I'm going with this. That looks good. Is Tristed good? I think it is. In which case I have it in column 12. I have a slight doubt about that. It could be spelt with a Y. In fact, I think it is. So I'm not going to play that. Strident through an N. This ends in the wrong spot. Nothing with the J. TE could be useful. I was just about to consider column 11 with plays with IS in them. That's gone away now. But has my opponent provided a floater, which helps me? I think he has. Dautiest through the O. What about the B? Can't see anything with that. Dautiest doesn't score very much. What about the E? What about resitted? Don't like that. I think it's just tiredest. Well, maybe it's not just tiredest. Because isn't sittered good? And although that doesn't go, maybe there's a third play which does go. But I'm going to have to be sure of it, since I am sure of Dautiest, and I don't want to play a phony. So RES, can't see anything there. I think it's going to have to be Dautiest. So now, what are the 7s with this rack? At the moment I've seen none. I've rejected Tristed. And does Dautiest have an anagram? I'm going with Dautiest. I know it's good. Dautiest for 63. Pretty horrendous. U and V, not good at all. And the G making it worse. Vague would sort the rack out. Can't see anywhere for that. I'm not sure about up gave. So, pretty grim stuff. hangs not really allowing a nice play in column 1, and the floaters very close to the edge of the board, so not as useful as they would be if they were in space. Column 12 quite hot for an ES word. Still 2 S's, 2 blanks to come. Only 38 tiles in the bag, 2 blanks to come. That means it's a good idea to play off or turn over a lot of tiles in the hope of picking one of the blanks. So they would fit the bill, were it to be playable. I was just looking in column 2 to see if Gov or Vug played, and they don't. Now, I could play Vague in column 12, ending on this E. 26 points, which is a good score. I am ahead, but not by much, and my opponent's on turn. And that would keep PEE. Let me look at the vowel situation. 18 vowels out of 45 tiles. Okay. So, what has my opponent provided? Nothing for Vague. Now, I could play Vegas across here, which is the same tiles as Vague. 17 points rather than 26. That's not good. I'm 7 points in front. 13 minutes on my clock. So, how best to deal with this rack? Can't see anything down from the C. I'm going with Vague. 26 points. Pretty bad, given how vowel light the bag was. I've drawn a ton of them. Not good at all. However, I have Uoi in column 1, which is the 3 consecutive vowel requirement that I thought rendered column 1 unlikely to be used to effect. And in fact, I can use it to good effect because it sorts the rack out and scores 23 points. Rapture. Does it play? No. Still 2 blanks and an S to come. But the board is... It's a strange board. There's lots of space at the bottom, but difficult to use it. And this space at the top is not accessible either, closed off by the surrounding tiles. So it's quite a tight board, even though it looks like there's lots of space on it. Now, does Rapture have an anagram? Parture, possibly. Uprater, possibly. Pasturer through an S. Now, what about Enrapture? Could be good. I certainly haven't studied it. It's too low down in the probability lists of 9s for me to have reached it, but I think it's a word. Enrapture. Sounds good. I'm thinking back to my hopeless effort of Enranch in my last game. I don't want to repeat a similar crappy play in this one, but I think Enrapture has a lot more to recommend it. I think it's good for a start. Now, the A and G of Vague are available for bingos, provided the bingos finish just after them. So, do I go with Enrapture? I think so. It's a common English word. Enrapture, 74. Waiting for this to be challenged. Surely my opponent has not studied it. It'll be quite good to play an unstudied 9. If it's good. Okay, no challenge yet. So, looking with bated breath or something else at my rack. I've got the Z, I've got the S, but I am still waiting for this to be challenged. I would challenge it. Not challenged. There go both blanks. So, now the dust settles. I am 17 points behind. 8 tiles in the bag. And I've got the Z. Is there a big Z play available? What about row B through this A? No. Not there. What about through the Y? Do I have a ZY word? Or any word using the Y and the Z? 11 minutes on my clock. No. There's the Z of finally, but I can't get that to play twice, which is a shame. What about a play in column 10 making enraptured? No. This is pretty grim. I've got Tiz, keeping 2 ends. I've got Jizz for 39. Pretty good on a tight board, and that gives almost nothing away. It is keeping 2 ends. There is still an N in the bag. So it'd be nice to play off the Z with an N. Can I do that? Just looking across to this S. Can't see a play. Zin is good, Z-I-N. But I'm not seeing anywhere to play that. Just looking for a play down here. Zandy. Not good. Can I play off the Z with the N? Now, what about a play in row K? Z-O-I. And then the story stops. So I like Jizz. It's a good score. It gives nothing away. It's slightly vulnerable with this rack. Well, it's not a disaster. I do have a vowel. I'm going with this. I draw the final N. Unbelievable. And no vowels. That couldn't have been much worse. No scoring tiles. However, I'm only 2 points behind. There are 4 tiles in the bag. So maybe I can play off 3 tiles and be in good shape. So if I'm playing off 3 tiles, I'd like 2 of them to be N's. 9 minutes on my clock. I don't want to play off all 4 tiles. Let me look at the vowel situation. 6 vowels. Okay, so I don't need to worry about playing off the O. In which case, I'm looking at playing off N-N-O. So I could play Nona, but for only 6 points. I could play Non and Nef. That looks better. But then I'm setting up a spot for the W and the M. Not good. 9 minutes on my clock. Just wondering about a play. What about Tenon? Now, this is nice. It plays off exactly the tiles I'm looking to play off. It also sets up a spot for my S. I have got the final S, so column 8 is available for me. Slight downside is that Zoe takes an A, so I am setting up a big play in row 5. However, if my opponent doesn't take that, I have got the D for that spot. 19 points. I think overall this is worth doing. If I draw the A, I'm in great shape, and if I don't, I've still got a fighting chance. I don't draw the A. My opponent's probably got it. The W can go in front of in, so the worst case scenario would be a play of Wame there. I've only drawn the I with all those vowels. Okay, that's not great. I'm now 19 points behind, and my opponent's got Emu. He can probably go out with that. Just checking to see where he can go out. Well, NE and Emu. Is there a second spot for him? MEU is also good. Yeah, Emu above Rapture. So he is going out. He's probably going to win. I'm not sure there's terribly much I can do about this. This is a dreadful rack. With only one vowel. Look at that, my opponent had access to 3 E's and an A. Any one of those would have massively helped this rack. So having got the final S, it's of pretty much no use to me at all. 7 minutes on my clock. I'm looking to maximise score because I have only got one more go. So what about a play making chariots and enraptured? Can't see such a play. Can't see anything with DI or SI, which is scoring okay. Well, I've got Niddy. Let me see what that scores. 20 points, not great. And an awful rackly, but that doesn't matter so much because I'm not going to have another go. 6 minutes on my clock. So that's 20. Can I beat 20? Not too many opportunities on this board. What about the A of vague? Well, I don't have anything to go underneath the W, so that's not worth looking at. I've got an N for Azon, but my I doesn't go underneath the N of Tenon. Dirndl through a D. Nothing goes above the R. So what about a play in row J? 5 minutes on my clock, making cats. So I could play Slid. 20 points, that's fractionally better than Niddy. Just looking in column 13, can't find anything there. So I think I'll go with Slid. This game is a lost cause, so Slid for 20. My opponent will go out, but if he doesn't, I've got Turn through the U and Tarn through the A of Finally. I am ahead by 1 point, but that's not going to count for anything. Unless my opponent phonies. He's got 11 minutes to find an Emu spot, or an MEU spot. Yep, there it goes. So, pass to end the game. And the final score, 460 to me, 478 to my opponent. A winning margin of 18 points, so well done to my opponent. Quite a high-scoring game, quite an exciting game, and good to play a 9-letter word with Enrapture. So I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.